For Devon Alexander, the routine is consistent. Countless hours in the gym, endless runs on the road. That hard work has paid off.
Give me a nice clean match. Que gane el mejor. May the best man win. Touch him up. Good luck to both of you.
Rango digging in with those power punches, gets that hook, and that time the right hand found the mark.
Alexander, you see they're throwing out a couple 1-2s, but the 2 in the 1-2, the straight left hand, was almost a stay-off-me punch, not really the kind of accurate left hands he was throwing earlier in the fight.
And Lennox, there we saw Alexander throw 4, and it was number 4 that landed.
Yeah, and they were straight punches too, which are important.
Wide body shots from Rango. Combination from Urango. Alexander had it in range. Lunging shot from Urango to end round number 7.
We'll see if Urango employs his corner strategy of, you are a man, he is not this round.
Lennox, I mean, when you look at a guy like Urango, and we chronicled it at the beginning of the night, how he got off the deck against a pure puncher like Randall Bailey, and he wore him down in the late stages of the fight, and he wins it. It's got to give you confidence, even if things might not be totally going your way, to know that you can do that.
Yeah, you can. I mean, pressure breaks the pipe.
Oh! Uppercut knocked down Urango.
5, 6, 7, 8. I don't want this. Hang on to me.
Well, he got off the deck against Bailey to win. Can he do it again? We talked about that experience in the last fight. He's going to have to summon that again, and he's hurt again, and down he goes again.
3, 4, 5.
The first knockdown was a situation where he was throwing a punch and got caught with that same uppercut that we've been seeing all night by Alexander.
This is where you see the risk versus the reward. Devon Alexander took a risky proposition, trying to fight in an excellent professional style, without running, without holding, taking offensive chances responsibly. And rather than start to run or cave or get reckless when Urango started putting on the pressure, Alexander stuck to the game plan, and look at that dividend it just paid.
Any punches below this point are going to be called low. Any punch below this point are going to be called low. With that said, I want you to obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Touch them up now. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up.
This is exactly the opposite of the strategy Cunningham insisted that Alexander would use. Now, maybe he was hoping that it was a decoy and they weren't intending to fight that way, but according to Cunningham, they were going to pressure Kotelnik, get inside, touch him in the body, and come upstairs and really take the fight to him, and that's not at all what's happened. Kotelnik looks very confident.
You get this feeling, at least body language-wise, that it feels like he's in control.
Well, Alexander feels the pressure, obviously, in his hometown, in front of all the people. As I mentioned, front page New York Times article on him. There's a sense, there's something in the air about him, high expectations. Like maybe he can be a special fighter, and maybe trying to live up to it is, although he's looking pretty good at the moment.
Scorecards. Good counter right hand from Kotelnik as Alexander tries to throw a combination right back.
You know, and Alexander, I think, is the better puncher of the two. But Kotelnik is throwing them so nice and easy that they're landing well.
They're well placed.
Yep. I mean, Kotelnik has really exposed some serious defensive flaws with Alexander. Landing a lot of punches. Clean in this fight. Alexander showing real heart and determination fighting back, but control of this fight, whether or not he's winning on points, control of this fight was lost several rounds ago, and maybe really Alexander never had control.
You know, we've talked over the last couple months about some of the really intriguing matchups at 140. Matchups that seem to be reluctant to be made. You almost wonder that if Alexander can survive this, might it open the door for matches to be made. The message earlier in the week was to dig deep. They're both digging deep.
Alexander's been long on the intangibles in this fight, but I think a little short on the tangibles, Bob.
Tremendous 12 rounds. Devon Alexander keeps his belt. The unanimous decision victory, 116-112 across the board.
Let's do this.
Round in the other direction. This is good start, and this is also what you need against a cagey southpaw.
Welterweight says it's natural. Lovely quick combinations. There's the speed. Looks to shine himself.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, again from Canada, the right hand is so important here. Take charge, which he wasn't too keen to do early, but he's left it late. A good left hook from Khan. That was a terrific left hook.
Get him going.
Yeah, at times he's been too brave for his own good, but this is terrific. Throw single punches, they're going to be countered. Alexander realised at the end of the opening round, smile after those two. The right hand from Khan. Walked onto one there and he felt it.
Yep, right hand from Alexander. And now Khan does have the middle of the ring and beautiful jabs and a lovely right hand as well. Seems to be coming into place under Virgil Hunter. Left hand as well.
I think Khan's rounds, but no, straight away he's bringing it in. There it is again.
Boxing beautifully. Jim.
Yep, I've given him the first three, just will work like that. You could see there that Alexander was trying to draw him into something. Alexander working when he decides. Nice little cuff there from Alexander.
But Alexander's jab falling short, good right hand. Trying to throw it in back from Khan. But more exciting than many predicted.
But Khan has left nothing. Oh, that's a terrific jab.
Well is good with the feet, Jim.
No, this is terrific. Corner Alexander's corner. That was a good left.
Problem with pushing, didn't he? In Washington against Lamont Peterson, but hopefully Robert Burr won't have to get too involved. Sway and the smile, the glide around the ring. And a right hand back from Khan.
Supposed to be using it as a weapon. He's just a natural counter puncher. Either. Terrific. Terrific.
Out of range, and when do you really see that with Devon Alexander? Beautiful left hand on.
I mean, this has been a frustrating round. Now, the better punches again coming from Khan. This has been so frustrating. Alexander reaching, jumping. Alexander frustrated now. He's having to do stuff he doesn't like doing, and it's not working.
Punches through 6 rounds. A lot of these loose ones from Alexander. The gloves are coming back with rapid shots. Big uppercut.
See, everything from Alexander is forced, whereas Khan just looks so relaxed. Khan is looking good defensively from Alexander, but nah, he knows, his corner knows, and these fans know he needs to do something.
Stop him.
I don't think he's bothered about that. Now that's what we want to see, Alexander coming back with something.
Because of that speed.
Alexander having his moments in this round.
Just nods at him. As if
terrific shot.
That was a wonderful one from Alexander. Best punch of the fight.
If Khan's in range, he's got to take his hands up. There's that right hook.
Best in this, the 8th.
Because he started here with a little burst combination, then he goes again. That's what he was doing beforehand, previous rounds.
Mentioned. Alexander needs something big and he's frustrated there as coming and barks out instructions to him.
Reputation that he has, but
there is that fragility. But I tell you what, it's irrelevant if he's boxing like this and in total control. It's fabulous at times, this, from Khan, Jim.
All the time, you know, he leaps in with the shots. That's terrific. No, I've never seen Alexander miss with so many punches in any of his fights.
There's Amir Khan's exquisite boxing.
I think Alexander's having to unlearn because what he does normally doesn't work.
Skill, talent, it's there for all to see to set the standard in this. Incredible Alexander's better than Katelny. Tries to get his own left hand in, but Khan. It has been Khan dominating pretty much from start to finish. What have you given Alexander a round?
I've given him 1 round, I gave him the 8.
Oh, beautiful from Khan. The journalists behind us pretty much got it the same way. Virtually everything. Well, he's going to be disappointed about, of course, but he's got to be highly respectful of.
Send them out for the KO, so I don't know if they're good left hand.
It has been a boxing masterclass, an exhibition of speed, of skill, of quality, and proof that Amir Khan will be in the big marquee fights.
Amir
A magnificent night for Amir Khan.
Super big fights now on the horizon for him. Let's take a look at Victor Ortiz's greatest hits.
December 2008, 21-year-old Ortiz squared off with Jeffrey Resto. And once again, Ortiz wasted no time showing off his power.
Not strong enough to take that straight left hand. A decisive straight left by Ortiz. Resto seems disappointed in himself that he isn't seeing these punches coming.
The Ortiz onslaught continued against his overmatched opponent.
Just doesn't appear that Resto is in position to defend himself against the quickness and power of Ortiz. Here's the 3rd knockdown of the fight. So it's a 2nd round knockout for Victor Ortiz.
June 2009, Ortiz matched up with the heavy-fisted Marcos Maidana at Staples Center. Once again, Ortiz fast out of the gate in the opening round.
Ortiz got caught leaning, then he landed a right and a left combination. Counter right, and then Ortiz drops Maidana.
But moments later, Maidana returned the favor, and the slugfest was on.
Ortiz gets dropped from a big right hand.
And his legs are very shaky.
Can Maidana finish him? Ortiz short left.
We're thinking about both guys are punching.
What a round 1. Both men have been down.
The pace in round 2 was just as furious.
Ortiz tried to load up a power shot. Maidana counter right hand. Drops Maidana. Here comes Ortiz trying to finish it here in round 2. Steps in with a left. Hooks to the body. Maidana trying to fight back. He goes down again.
Having knocked Maidana down 3 times in the first 2 rounds, Ortiz was seemingly in control. But Maidana recovered and turned the tide in round 5.
They exchange big shots and then hold on. Now they try to fight out of it. Ortiz is cut on the right eyebrow.
The way these guys are going, anybody can go down.
Good shot by Maidana. Right up the middle. Oh, big right hand by Maidana.
Maidana cannot miss with the right hand.
A Maidana left hand created the cut over the right eye of Ortiz. And suddenly Victor Ortiz found himself in a place he hadn't been to before.
And Maidana comes right out to start round number 6.
Maidana's figured out he can't miss with the right hand and he won't stop throwing it.
Ortiz is in big trouble and he goes down.
Stop it, Doc. That's too bad.
They're going to stop it because of that cut.
What a fight.
December 2009, 6 months after the demoralizing loss to Maidana, Ortiz looked to get things back on track, taking on Antonio Diaz. After a slow start, Ortiz left his mark in round 3.
Oh, nice combination by Diaz, and then Diaz on a counter goes down. There's the power of Ortiz. Diaz is hurt and holding on.
After Ortiz's big 3rd round, he kept the pressure on. A straight right hand in round 6 opened a bad cut over the left eye of Diaz. After the round, Diaz's corner deemed the cut too bad to continue, and Ortiz had a bounce-back victory. April 2011. Following a draw against Lamont Peterson, Ortiz moved up to welterweight, challenging title holder Andre Berto. In the opening round, the underdog Ortiz got off to a stunning start.
Down goes Berto on a hard left hand by Ortiz, and Michael Ortega is not going to rule it a knockdown. He's going to say that Berto tripped over Ortiz's foot. Berto staggered again. Straight left hand by Ortiz. And Berto does go down in the corner. This time, Andre Berto has a whole new respect for Victor Ortiz's punching power.
A round later, Berto responded.
There's the right hand, and now Berto has a knockdown. Ortiz's glove touched the canvas. It was clearly the result of the punch.
At this moment, both fighters are better than we thought they were.
Shaking off the knockdown, Ortiz continued his unrelenting offensive barrage.
Uppercut lands for Ortiz. Berto holding on.
Ortiz is fighting like a young man possessed.
Two more hard shots. Another right hook for Ortiz. Another uppercut. He's landing these punches. Flush.
As both fighters refused to back down, round 6 proved one for the ages.
Down goes Ortiz on a perfect right hand shot by Berto. Second knockdown of the fight for Berto. And you can feel the fight changing perceptibly in this round.
All Berto has to land one clean shot. I realize the clock is ticking out, so he's trying to get that one shot off.
It's been a great round for Berto. He's gonna fight back. Unbelievable! What a fight! We've got an amazing slugfest in Connecticut. Jaws are dropping all around this theater. People are dumbfounded at what they're seeing.
Despite his own hard punching, Berto had no answer for Ortiz's repeated power shots in the second half of the brawl, and the underdog took control on all 3 scorecards.
Looks like there's a new welterweight in town, and his name is Victor Ortiz.
But he's run into his boxing manhood tonight.
Victor Ortiz has the victory of a lifetime.